The crystalline spires of the Galactic Council chambers had never felt so cold. Zephyr 9, the silicon-based representative from the Andromeda sector, watched through the vast transparent walls as the last human transport vessels disappeared into the quantum fold, their ion trails fading like dying stars against the cosmic backdrop. "They're really gone," whispered Keth Nomura, her bioluminescent tentacles dimming with what could only be described as grief. The aquatic delegate from Proxima Centauri had been one of the few who had argued for immediate intervention when the crisis began. Counselor Vex Prime's metallic form remained motionless at the central podium, his optical sensors fixed on the empty space where Earth's diplomatic fleet had been moments before. For 3 centuries, he had served as the Council's supreme arbiter, making decisions that affected trillions of beings across 12 galaxies. Never had he felt the weight of failure so acutely. "The quantum resonance readings are confirmed," announced tech specialist Orn from her position at the bio-neural interface. Her 6 arms moved in perfect synchronization across the holographic displays. Complete dimensional displacement. They've severed all subspace communication links. The humans have effectively erased themselves from our reality. The silence that followed was broken only by the low hum of the station's gravitational stabilizers. 47 different species were represented in the chamber, beings of matter, energy, and states in between. Yet none could find words adequate for the magnitude of what had just transpired. It had started so simply. The human delegation had requested permission to establish a research colony in the forbidden Tau 7 system. The Council, in its infinite wisdom and bureaucratic tradition, had dismissed the proposal without proper review. Humans were still considered a junior species despite their remarkable adaptability and innovation. They had only achieved faster than light travel 400 years ago, making them practically infants by galactic standards. What the Council hadn't anticipated was humanity's response to rejection. Within 50 years, human scientists had developed technology that surpassed anything in the Council's archives. Their breakthrough in dimensional manipulation wasn't just revolutionary, it was inconceivable. They had learned to fold space-time itself, creating pocket universes where the laws of physics bent to their will. Dr. Sarah Chen had been humanity's final ambassador to the Council. Zephyr 9 remembered her last address with perfect digital clarity. She had stood at this very podium, her small frame dwarfed by the massive alien architecture, yet her voice had carried the authority of an entire species. "You saw us as children playing with dangerous toys," she had said, her words translated into 17,000 languages simultaneously. "But we were never asking for permission. We were offering partnership." The Council had laughed, or made the equivalent sounds of amusement, in their various anatomies. How could these bipedal mammals possibly threaten civilizations that had spanned the galaxy for millions of years? The answer came in the form of the Terran Exodus Protocol. Humanity didn't just leave Earth, they took it with them. The entire solar system, wrapped in a dimensional bubble, shifted into a parallel reality that existed adjacent to but separate from the known universe. 8 billion humans, along with their colonies on Mars, Europa, and the asteroid belt stations, simply stepped sideways out of existence. But that wasn't the worst part. "The cascade effect is accelerating," reported Dr. Thane Koh, the Council's chief physicist. His crystalline body refracted the chamber's lights into prismatic patterns of anxiety. The human's dimensional displacement has created fractures in local spacetime. The Kepler colonies are reporting gravitational anomalies. 3 star systems in the Orion sector are experiencing temporal distortions. Vex Prime's optical array dimmed as he processed the implications. Prognosis? At current rates of expansion, the reality fractures will reach the galactic core within 2,000 years. The damage isn't just local, it's spreading through the quantum substrate itself. The irony was bitter and absolute. In dismissing humanity as insignificant, the Council had driven them to develop technology that could unravel the very fabric of existence. Worse, the humans had been their only hope of understanding and potentially reversing the process. Keth Nomura's bioluminescence pulsed in the pattern her species used for deep mourning. We could have learned from them. Their neural architecture, their quantum consciousness, it was unlike anything we'd encountered. They processed paradox and impossibility as naturally as we process basic mathematics. The preliminary studies suggested they might have been the key to breaking the Fermi paradox permanently, added Councillor Yix, her hive mind components, speaking in perfect unison. Their capacity for simultaneous logical and intuitive reasoning could have solved problems we've worked on for millions of years. Zephyr 9 accessed his personal memory banks, reviewing every interaction he'd had with human representatives. They had been so eager to contribute, to share their discoveries, and learn from the galaxy's elder races. Their offers of technological exchange, scientific collaboration, and cultural partnership had been met with condescending patience at best, outright dismissal at worst. There has to be a way to re-establish contact, Vex Prime declared, but his voice processors betrayed his doubt. Deploy long-range quantum sensors. Initiate dimensional scanning protocols. If they exist in a parallel reality, there must be intersection points. Dr. Thane Ko's crystalline structure dimmed further. Sir, their dimensional displacement technology appears to be based on consciousness-directed reality manipulation. Without understanding their unique neural quantum states, we couldn't breach their dimensional barrier, even if we found it. We would need a human consciousness to guide the process. The full scope of the tragedy settled over the chamber like a suffocating nebula. They had not just lost humanity, they had lost the only beings capable of fixing the catastrophic damage their departure had caused. In the observation deck, high above